Okay, so we're going to do corrections for quiz 2-1, and I'm going to do them in the same video. So I'm going to do the same question for version A and then version B, and you just write down whichever version you had, and then whenever it says you try that problem. You all will try the same problem. So number 1 on version A, it says, what is the value of f of 14 for the function f of x equals 5x plus 4? And so all you are doing is taking this 14 and plugging it in for x. X equals 14. So 5 times 14 plus 4. Right? You'll just type that in the calculator. 5 times 14 plus 4 and get the answer of 74. Okay, on version B, was the value of f of 10. So here you're again plugging x, 10 in for x. So you would type 7 times 10 plus 1, which that's 70 plus 1, which is 71. All right, version A again. Number 2. This means x equals negative 18, and so we're going to plug it in. 2/3 times negative 18 minus 7. Okay, so we're going to type that in the calculator, and to get the fraction, you press Control, divide. Gives us our fraction. Sorry, that's not looking very nice, is it? So I have 2/3. Scroll out of the fraction times negative 18 minus 7, and I get negative 19. Okay. On version B, it's the same question almost. This is version B. Again, this is x equals negative 18. So I have 2/3 times negative 18 minus 5. And so when I plug that into the calculator, I'm not sure if I was going to show you, minus 5, and I get negative 17. Okay, so there's just substitution. Number 3, on version A, identify the correct range. Range is your y values. My y values are here. They're the f of x. So whichever one said that. So we have negative 5, negative 24, 4, and 12. And I just realized that they're not put in numerical order. But that's okay. It's these ones right here. On version B, my domain, or my range, same thing, same question. It's the y values. And so that means your f of x. And so this time it was A. And just remember, even if you didn't miss that question, you still need to do the you try and show it on your correction page. Number 4. This is version A. And it's asked for the domain, which is your x values, which is right here, 0, 1, 2, negative 1, letter D. On version B, same question, domain, x values, right here, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, in numerical order. Version A, choose the set of ordered pairs where y represents a function of x. And so this means choose the ordered pairs where x does not repeat. So I'm going to go through. I have 8, 5, negative 4, negative 4. I have a repeating x. That's not my answer. 1, 2, negative 2, 3. Those are all different. Kind of seems like that's my answer. If I come down to C, 7, negative 6, 4, negative 6, repeating x's. 3, 4, 3, 6, repeating 3's. Version B. Again, we want to know where x does not repeat. So I have 4, 5, negative 4, negative 4. So that's not my answer. 1, 2, 2, 3. My 2's repeat, so that's out. 7, negative 6, 4, negative 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, number 6. So here's version A, here's version B. It's the same question. Choose the graph which represents y as a function of x. So that means which one is a function. So it has to pass the vertical line test, which that one does. If I cross here, I hit 2 points, though that's not my answer. This one hits multiple points. This one hits 2 points. Same thing over here. The star hits multiple points. The zigzag, the oval. And so if I cross this one, though, every time it's only 1 point. Number 7, this is version A. Which table does not show y as a function of x, which means which one is not a function, which means x repeats. So I'm looking for a repeated x value. Those are all different. Oh, here we go, negative 0.2, repeated x value. If I come down here, I have a negative 24 and a positive 24. Those are still different numbers. On version B, it's the same question, which one is not a function? Which means you're looking to see where x repeats. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, those are all different. These fractions are all different. Negative 24, positive 24 is different. And down here I have the negative 0.2 that repeats. Okay. So this is version B. Over here I have version A. Okay. Similar question, right? So on version A, what is the range? Range is your y's. And this particular graph, I should be boxing in because it has endpoints and it's continuous. So if I box it in, where does my y start? At negative 3, and where does my y end? At positive 4. And I can also cross off this, because A and C, because those are domains, those are x's, and it's continuous, so I don't just want 3 numbers, and it's not all real numbers because it doesn't have arrows. So my answer here is B. Over here, same thing, we're talking about well, same graph, but this time we're talking about domain, which are the x values, and this is version B. Okay, x values. I can still box it in. And I want to look at here the x. It starts at negative 2 and goes all the way over to positive 4. But I can cross this one off because it's y, and that one. It's not all real numbers because it doesn't have arrows, and it's not just 3 numbers, or we would have points. So my domain is from negative 2 to 4. Down on number 9, let's look at version A first. Version A says which graph represents a function with a domain, domain is your x, of all real numbers greater than or equal to -7 and less than 2. So my x has to start at -7, which the only x value that even starts at -7 is letter D. And it goes from -7 all the way to 2, and the 2 is less than and the -7 is equal. Version B, again, domain is x, all real numbers greater than -2 and less than or equal to 7. So this time it has to go from -2 all the way to 7, and this is the only graph that even goes to +7, so it's A. And it's equal to at 7, not equal to at -2. All right, this number 10, probably a little bit tricky. We needed to use our calculator, and basically you're plugging these numbers in for x. This one goes for the f function, and this one goes for the g function. And I've actually typed these in. We'll see if it shows up. Okay, so I did this on version B. So if I take my f function and I plug in 8, maybe now it's not going to focus. Okay. If I plug in 8 for x, I would be writing 8 minus 3 squared plus 4, and I get 29. And if I do that here, I do 2 minus 3 squared plus 4, which is 5. Here it's -2 minus 3 squared plus 4, which is 29. And this one says 0 minus 3 squared plus 4, which is 13. And then if I type the g function in, this side g is 3. Okay, g is 3 here. So I'm going to plug that in right here, and I would say 3 cubed plus 2, that's 29. Now put the 1 in. 1 cubed plus 2 is 3. And then I have -3. -3 cubed plus 2 is -25. And then 0 cubed, oops, it's not 0, it's -1. -1 cubed plus 2 is +1. So which one equaled? It was letter A on version B. And on version A, it was C. That one was that was an old star question, though. All right, almost done. I got 2 more. Number 11, we're looking at an exponential function. And it says, based on the graph, which statement about the function is true? Well, you know that the domain goes to the right forever, it goes to the left forever, so the domain is all real numbers. But we talked about this graph. It has a special range. It can never actually touch 0. It's just getting smaller and smaller, but it never touches 0. So the range is y is greater than 0. And this is the same true, that's for version A and version B. And so here it says the range is the set of all numbers, all real numbers, less than 0. Well, that's greater. So that's out. The domain is all real numbers greater than -4, but it's just everything though. Letter C, the range is a set of all real numbers greater than 0. Excuse me. All real numbers greater than 0. That's exactly what that says. It says the domain is the set of all real numbers less than -4. Not true. So number 11 on version B, same answer, it's just in a different spot. The range is a set of all real numbers greater than 0. And the last one, 12. A set of weights includes a 4-pound barbell and 6 pairs of weight plates. Each pair of plates weighs 20 pounds. If X pairs of plates are added to the barbell, the total weight of the barbell and plates in pounds can be represented by f of x equals 20x plus 4. What is the range for this function? And so the range is the y value, which is the total weight. So if I don't have any plates on it, so if my x value is 0, then my bar still weighs 4. So I'm going to start there. I have a 4. If I put one pair on there, then I plug in a 1. 20 times 1 is 20 plus 4 is 24. If I have 2 pairs, I should probably just make a table. 0 goes to 4, 1 pair goes to 24, 2 pairs would go to 44, 3 pairs would go to 64, 4 pairs would go to 84, 5 pairs would go to 104, and 6 pairs would go to 124. And so my range is my y values here, which is letter D here and letter B on version A. Make a table. That might help you.